The Cleveland Browns' 2025 NFL season hasn't even started yet, and the drama is already spreading like slush on the shores of Lake Erie. A team that finished 3-14 last year is facing one of the most brutal schedules in the league and, perhaps more concerning, one of the most uncertain quarterback situations in the NFL. But what as fans, and the entire league, talking isn't just a string of potential losses. It's what this season could mean for the Browns' future and their controversial roster decisions. We have a lot to discuss in this video, so be sure to hit that like button if you're a die-hard fan. Now, let's start with what we do know. The Browns enter 2025 with 5 quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson is technically the starter, but after an inconsistent and injury-plagued stretch, his future looks more uncertain than ever. Joe Flacco, the aging veteran, Kenny Pickett, who failed to find consistency in Pittsburgh, and 2 rookies, Dillon, Gabriel, and Shedeur, the latter of which could very well be the franchise's saving grace. And that's just the quarterback room. This team also re-signed their cornerstone, Myles Garrett, to a jaw-dropping 4-year, $160 million extension, making him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. The move turned heads, even drawing skepticism from analysts like Seth Truckman, who labeled the extension a head-scratcher given the team's current state. With the fallout from the Deshaun Watson deal still haunting the salary cap, critics argue that pouring $40 million annually into a defensive end could compromise any hope of a serious rebuild. Yet here's the catch. Garrett was the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year just 2 seasons ago. If there's one player who could anchor a team through chaos, it's him. But now let's zoom in on the real intrigue, the quarterback chaos and what it reveals about how the league views Cleveland. When the NFL released the 2025 schedule, one glaring detail stood out. The Browns were snubbed from every single primetime game. Every single one. Except for a Week 5 matchup in London against the Vikings, which, while nationally televised, is hardly a marquee slot. Only 2 other teams, Tennessee and New Orleans, share that ignominious fate. So what gives? The absence of a spotlight game isn't just about last season's 3-14 disaster. It's about uncertainty. More specifically, it's about Shedeur. The NFL doesn't believe he's going to start, or at least, not soon enough to build around him in the schedule. Because if there's one thing we know about Sanders, it's this: he moves the needle. He dominates headlines, energizes fan bases, and sells jerseys before even taking a snap. If the league believed he'd be under center early in the season, Cleveland would have been handed at least a Thursday night slot. No doubt about it, but they weren't. Which begs the question, what if the NFL's wrong? Because while Watson might be the name on the depth chart, the internal chatter suggests the leash is short, very short. If he falters, or gets hurt again, don't be shocked if the Browns pivot hard toward Sanders. This team needs more than wins. It needs relevance, it needs energy, it needs hope. And if Shedeur brings even a sliver of that, Cleveland could go from invisible to must-watch in a matter of weeks. Let's talk schedule. The Browns' 2025 slate is a gauntlet. They open at home against division rival Cincinnati. Then it's a meat-grinder stretch against Baltimore, Green Bay, and Detroit, all in the first month. They'll fly to London to take on the Vikings in Week 5, a game they're oddly predicted to win, thanks to the unpredictability of international matchups. That's followed by another brutal stretch, at Pittsburgh, at New England, and a home tilt with Miami. All projected losses. But what if things go differently? What if Sanders gets the nod early and sparks a turnaround? Even the projections admit the Browns have some potential bright spots. Wins against Cincinnati in Week 1, Minnesota in Week 5, Las Vegas in Week 12, Tennessee in Week 14, and Pittsburgh in Week 17 are all on the board. That's 5 wins. Not enough to make the playoffs, but enough to build a foundation, especially if those wins come with Sanders behind center. And let's not forget the impact beyond the field. If Sanders becomes the guy, Cleveland won't just be competing on Sundays. They'll dominate the conversation Monday through Saturday. Ratings will spike. National interest will grow. And the NFL, which left the Browns off primetime entirely, will be tripping over itself to flex them into late-season spotlight games. Because make no mistake, Sanders is a show. He's already proven it at the college level, and the NFL is aching to see what he can do on the biggest stage. The Browns have a golden ticket, and it's up to them to cash it in. What do you think, Dawg Pound? Should Shedeur be the starter from day one? Or do you ride with Watson until the wheels fall off? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And here's where the storyline really heats up. The implications of Cleveland's quarterback carousel aren't just about performance, they're about identity. For years, the Browns have been chasing stability under center, burning through names, hope, and draft capital like a franchise trapped in a never-ending reboot. Now, with 5 quarterbacks on the roster, they might be the most chaotic QB room in the entire league. Watson, once hailed as the franchise savior, now feels like a ticking clock. After missing significant time due to injury and off-the-field issues, his inconsistency has turned him from asset to liability. Joe Flacco offers experience, but not longevity. Kenny Pickett brings potential, but couldn't keep the starting job in Pittsburgh. That leaves Sanders and Gabriel, both rookies, both talented, but only one with the star power to make Cleveland matter again. And that's where Shedeur Sanders becomes more than just a player, he becomes a symbol. Let's be real. The NFL isn't just about wins and losses anymore. It's about narratives, stories, marketability. Shedeur isn't just a quarterback, he's a brand. The son of Deion Sanders. A college phenom with a swagger that commands attention. Every snap he takes is a storyline waiting to explode. And Cleveland, with its football-hungry fan base and desperate need for revival, is the perfect setting for his rise. Now imagine this, it's week 12. The Browns are 3-8. The season feels lost. The fans are restless. The stadium isn't full. Then Stefanski makes the move, Sanders is named the starter. The next home game? Sold out. National media? Flooding into Berea. Jerseys? Flying off shelves. The team? Re-energized. It's not just fantasy. It's a marketing reality. Because while the Browns must find the best quarterback for wins, picking Sanders might also save the team's brand. And don't think the league office wouldn't notice. If he performs, they'll flex a Browns game into Sunday Night Football faster than you can say primetime. The Browns' schedule even lines up for that late-season visibility. Games against San Francisco, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh down the stretch could become massive showcases if Sanders is leading a resurgence. That Week 17 rematch with the Steelers? In Cleveland? That could feel like a playoff game, not for standings, but for identity. Myles Garrett might be the face of this franchise on defense, but if Shedeur takes off, he'll be the heartbeat of its future. And that's the big what-if hanging over this season. Will the Browns recognize the moment? Or will they cling to old plans and miss a shot at something electrifying? One thing's clear, the 2025 Browns are walking a tightrope. Every game, every snap, every quarterback decision could shape the next 5 years of football in Cleveland. Fans are watching. The league is watching. And if Shedeur Sanders gets his shot, the whole country might be watching too. So here's the question for you. Do you believe Shedeur should start? Is it time to take the leap and build the future now? Let me know in the comments, because this story is just getting started, and your voice is part of it. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into the Brown season and the future of Shedeur Sanders, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next update. Go Browns!